Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speaking First English. I'm Daniel, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. Let me ask you something before we begin. If someone asks you, "Where are you from?" or "Can you tell me about your hometown?" do you suddenly feel stuck? You know the words, you know your home, but when you try to explain it in English, everything feels messy, simple, or incomplete. If that sounds familiar, this episode will help you. Today, we're going to talk about home and hometown, not in a textbook way, not in a perfect English way, but in a real, calm, natural way, the way native speakers actually talk. We'll go slowly, we'll use simple English, and we'll practice together. And later in the episode, I'll explain why we made this video, because it was requested by one of our subscribers. But first, let's begin with something important. What does home really mean? When people hear the word home, they often think about a place, a house, an apartment, a room. But for native speakers, home is not only a place. Home is a feeling. Home is where you feel safe. Home is where you can relax. Home is where you can be yourself. Sometimes home is quiet. Sometimes home is noisy. Sometimes home is small. Sometimes home is busy. And all of these are okay. So when you talk about home in English, you don't need big words. You don't need perfect grammar. You need honest sentences. Let me give you a very simple example. Home is where I feel comfortable. That's it. Simple, clear, natural. Now listen again. Home is where I feel comfortable. Shadowing practice. Home, part 1. Let's practice together. Please listen first, then repeat quietly or out loud. Home is where I feel comfortable. Home is where I can relax. My home is my safe place. Good. If you're listening while walking, resting, or doing something else, that's perfect. Just let the sentences stay in your mind. Talking about your home, the place. Now let's talk about the physical home, the place where you live. Native speakers usually keep this very simple. They don't explain everything. They don't list every detail. They choose one or two things. For example, I live in a small apartment. I live in a quiet house. I share my home with my family. I live alone. Notice something important here. These sentences are not impressive. They are not complex, but they are real. Native speakers don't try to sound smart when talking about home. They try to sound clear. You can also add how you feel about it. I like my home. My home is comfortable. My home is not big, but I like it. That's enough. Shadowing practice, home. Part 2. Repeat after me. I live in a small apartment. My home is quiet and comfortable. I like being at home after a long day. Slow, easy, natural. A common mistake learners make. Many English learners think, I must explain everything. I must describe every room. I must speak for a long time. This creates stress, but native speakers often speak less, not more. They choose what matters. For example, I spent most of my time in the living room. My favorite place at home is my room. Short, clear, done. Now let's talk about your hometown. Your hometown is the place where you grew up or the place you feel connected to. Again, keep it simple. Native speakers often follow this structure without thinking. Where it is, what it's like, how they feel about it. Let me show you. My hometown is a small city. It's quiet and friendly. I have many good memories there. That's a perfect answer. Shadowing practice. Hometown. Basics. Repeat gently. My hometown is a small city. It is a quiet place. I have many memories there. Good. Adding simple details without stress. If you want to add one detail, choose something easy. For example, it's near the sea. It's known for its food. It's a busy place. It's very peaceful. You don't need to explain why. You don't need history. One sentence is enough. Native speakers often stop there. Talking about the past very simply. When talking about hometowns, native speakers often talk about the past, but they keep it soft. For example, I grew up there. I lived there for many years. I moved away later. You don't need dates. You don't need long stories. Just small memories. Shadowing practice. Past. Repeat after me. I grew up in my hometown. I lived there for many years. I moved away later. Feelings matter more than facts. Here's something important. When native speakers talk about their hometown, they often talk about feelings, not facts. For example, I feel connected to it. I miss it sometimes. It will always be special to me. These sentences are powerful because they are human. Shadowing practice. Feelings. Repeat slowly. I feel connected to my hometown. I miss it sometimes. It will always be special to me. Why we made this video. Now, I want to share something with you. This episode was made because a subscriber of ours, Sophia, asked to help her. She wanted to know how to talk about home and hometown in English, naturally and comfortably. So this episode is for Sophia. And it's also for you. If you have a topic you want us to cover next, you can write it in the comments. And remember, simple English, calm English, real English. That's how fluency grows. Until next time, keep it simple and keep speaking. Common questions native speakers hear. Native speakers often hear questions like, where are you from? What's your hometown like? Do you like your hometown? Let's practice answers. You don't need perfect answers. You need comfortable answers. Shadowing practice. Full answer. Listen first. I'm from a small town. It's a quiet place and I grew up there. I have good memories. Now repeat. When you don't know what to say next. Sometimes you don't know what to say next. That's okay. Native speakers also pause. You can say, well, it's hard to explain. It's simple but nice. It's changed a lot. Pauses are natural. Silence is not a mistake. Comparing past and present. You can also compare the past and now. For example, it was quieter before. It's more busy now. It has changed a lot. These sentences are very common. Shadowing practice. Change. Repeat. It was quieter before. It has changed a lot. It feels more modern than before. Ending your answer naturally. Native speakers often end with a feeling. For example, but I still like it. But it's still home. But I enjoy going back. Simple endings feel natural. Shadowing ending. Repeat. But it's still home. But I enjoy going back. But it means a lot to me. You don't need to be perfect. Let me say this clearly. You do not need advanced English to talk about home or hometown. You need calm English. Native speakers don't judge you by grammar. They understand you by meaning. If your sentences are honest, you're doing it right. Final shadowing practice. Full, natural answer. Listen carefully. Well, I'm from a small place. I grew up there and it was pretty quiet. It has changed a lot, but it will always feel like home to me. Now, repeat at your own pace. So now that you understand the basic structure of how native speakers talk about their home and hometown, let's go deeper, but still keep everything simple, calm, and natural. Because in real conversations, people don't stop after one answer. They continue. They add small details. They remember things. They reflect. And that's exactly what we're going to practice now. Talking about daily life at home. When native speakers talk about home, they often talk about daily life, not just the place. They talk about routines, they talk about habits, they talk about small moments. For example, at home, I usually relax in the evening. I like quiet mornings at home. I spend a lot of time at home these days. These sentences are extremely common. Notice something important here. There is no strong emotion. There is no big story. There is no pressure. This is normal English. Now listen carefully. At home, I usually relax in the evening. This sentence sounds natural because it talks about real life, not descriptions. Shadowing practice, daily life at home. Repeat slowly. At home, I usually relax in the evening. I like quiet time at home. I feel more myself when I'm at home. Good. Talking about family and people at home. Another very common topic is people. Native speakers often say, I live with my family. I live alone. I share my home with roommates. That's it. They don't explain the full family tree. They don't give details unless asked. You can also add a feeling. I enjoy living with them. It's quiet, and I like that. It can be busy sometimes. Shadowing practice. People at home. Repeat gently. I live with my family. I live alone right now. It can be busy, but I enjoy it. When you don't love your home, and that's okay, here's something important. Not everyone loves their home. Not everyone loves their hometown. And native speakers are honest about this, but they stay calm. For example, it's not my favorite place, but it's okay. I don't live there anymore. It was fine, but I wanted something different. This kind of honesty sounds mature in English. Shadowing practice. Neutral feelings. Repeat. It's not my favorite place, but it's okay. I wanted something different. It was fine for that time in my life. Talking about childhood and memories. Now let's talk about memories, because hometown conversations often go here naturally. Native speakers often say, when I was younger, I remember, I used to. These phrases are very powerful and very simple. For example, when I was younger, I played outside a lot. I remember walking around my neighborhood. I used to spend time with friends there. No pressure, no long stories, just small memories. Shadowing practice. Memories. Repeat slowly. When I was younger, I played outside a lot. I remember my neighborhood. I used to spend time with friends there. Talking about change without complaining. Another very natural topic is change. Native speakers often say, it's different now. It has changed a lot. It feels more modern than before. They don't complain loudly. They don't sound angry. They simply observe. Shadowing practice. Change. Repeat. It's different now. It has changed a lot. It feels more modern than before. Comparing home and hometown. Sometimes people compare where they live now with where they grew up. Native speakers might say, my hometown was quieter. I live in a busier place now. I prefer where I live now. These sentences are calm and clear. Shadowing practice. Comparison. Repeat. My hometown was quieter. I live in a busier place now. I prefer where I live now. Answering follow-up questions naturally. In real conversations, people ask follow-up questions. For example, do you visit often? Do you miss it? Would you live there again? You don't need long answers. Native speakers often say, sometimes. Not really. Maybe in the future. Short answers are normal. Shadowing practice. Short answers. Repeat. Sometimes. Not really. maybe in the future. Expanding just a little. If you want to expand, add one sentence. For example, sometimes I still have family there. Not really. I like where I am now. Maybe in the future, but not now. That's enough. Talking about what you miss. Missing something is a very human topic. Native speakers say things like, I miss the food. I miss the quiet. I miss the people there. Very simple, very emotional, very natural. Shadowing practice. Missing. Repeat slowly. I miss the food. I miss the quiet. I miss the people there. When you don't miss it, also normal. You can also say, I don't really miss it. I'm happy where I am now. This is not rude. This is honest. Shadowing practice. Moving on. Repeat. I'm happy where I am now. I don't really miss it. This place feels right for me. Using pauses like native speakers. Here's something very important. Native speakers pause. They say things like, well, I guess. These words give you time to think. For example, well, my hometown is small, but it's nice. I guess I still feel connected to it. Pauses make you sound natural, not weak. Shadowing practice. Pauses. Repeat. Well, it's a small place. It's simple but nice. I guess I still feel connected to it. When you forget words, forgetting words is normal. Native speakers say things like, how can I say this? I'm not sure how to explain it. This is not a mistake. This is communication. Shadowing thinking out loud. I'm not sure how to explain it. How can I say this? It's hard to describe. Ending the conversation naturally. When the conversation ends, native speakers might say, but yeah, that's my hometown. So that's a little about my home. That's where I grew up. Simple endings feel complete. Shadowing ending. Repeat. That's where I grew up. That's a little about my home. But yeah, that's my hometown. Final reflection. Let me remind you of something important. Talking about your home or hometown is not a test. It's not a performance. It's a connection. Native speakers don't expect perfect English. They expect real meaning. And now you have the tools to do that. Final shadowing. Full natural answer. Listen carefully. Well, I'm from a small place. I grew up there and it was pretty quiet. It has changed a lot, but it will always feel like home to me. Now repeat at your own pace. Thank you for staying with me in this episode of Speaking First English. This video was made with care, and it was inspired by a request from one of our subscribers, Sufia, who wanted help talking about home and hometown in English. If you have a topic you want us to cover next, you can write it in the comments. And remember, simple English, calm English, real English. That's how fluency grows. Until next time, keep it simple and keep speaking.